Hi.
Hi.
Okay. How do you guys feel about Pual in general?
Great.
Feel great about it?
I kind of do. They're easy as
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty easy.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of extra stuff, and let me just do this because apparently I can. There we go. Okay. So there's not a lot of extra stuff, and like I was talking last week, that you only have the three kinds of verbs that appear in the Pual anyway. So that makes it a lot easier too.
Right.
And so just as a review, because you're going to have translations and parsing for this quiz, if you have a cal verb, what is the voice and the action of that?
Oh, I forget.
You can do it.
Cal is active voice. What is the word?
Active voice.
Simple.
Simple,
Act.
yes. Simple action. Yep. Good teamwork, Kate.
Good. Okay, hold on. Jake. And then we're having a hard time. Or is he? I can't tell if he's in or not. Well,
Oh, Jake?
I'm going to invite him again real quick and see if a
He's on.
different invite works. He said that whenever he goes on, he can only see a frozen Carol screen.
Oh.
So I'm just going to send him a different invite because he left again and see if a different invite works. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Okay, so that's Cal. And tell me what Nifal is then, the voice and the action.
Um, it is simple action, passive voice.
What about PL?
Intensive active voice.
Right.
Right. And what about Pual?
Intensive action passive voice.
Good. So then how would you translate something that is passive? Like if you had Katal in the Nifal, third person, masculine singular.
He was killed.
Right. And if you had it in the PL, Katal in the third masculine singular in the PL, how would you translate that?
He was slaughtered.
PL though.
Oh, PL. He slaughtered.
He's
Right.
slaughtered.
And so the Pual would be
He was.
He
he
was
was
slaughtered.
slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. I don't know what's going on. They'll figure it out. Okay. So you have how to translate it, and you have the action on the voice, right?
Yeah.
So then for the strong, what are the three forms that the Pual can come in?
Perfect, imperfect, and
Oh.
participle.
Right. And what is the diagnostic?
Pual.
The kibbutz, whatever you call it.
Kibbutz and kamatz. I mean kibbutz and dagish.
Doubling dot.
Right. The kibitz and the doubling dot. And then if you have the imperfect, what are the diagnostics?
Vocal schwa with a patak and I'm sorry, vocal schwa with a kibbutz and a doubling dot.
Right. And then what about the participle?
Mem vocal schwa with the doubling dot. I mean with the kibbutz and doubling dot. What's going on with the computer?
Okay. So then for the week, have you looked through the week chapter at all? It's not very long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on one second again. Okay. Then for this chapter, for the week, the only thing that's different is the second guttural verbs.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the example of the third aleph verbs and the third hey verbs, but all of the diagnostics remain the same,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And so for those, you could memorize them if that makes it easier, but you don't have to because there's just not a drastic difference. So it would be one of those things where you need to decide, just like with the PL and the NIFAL, what is going to help you most. But the third aleph looks almost exactly the same, the difference being just that comment that's underneath the second root consonant. But that comment is always there in third aleph verbs, so that's not different. And the third hey, the only thing that changes is the third hey endings, which you've been working on since NIFAL and PL. So it's not anything new. And so then you get to the second gutturals, and just like PL, the second gutturals are the only ones that have major vowel changes. And why is that?
Because
Because
of
of virtual.
yeah.
Go ahead, Kate.
No, go ahead. Because of the what to do with the doubling dot.
Because
What?
of compensatory lengthening and virtual
Virtual
doubling.
doubling.
Right. Why, particularly with the PL and the Pual, why is it the second gutturals that are changing? It's because that's where the doubling dot normally is.
Right.
And with the guttural there,
It rejects it.
it rejects it. Right. Which is why with the NIFAL, it's not the second gutturals, it's the first gutturals that change. Because it's the first root consonant in the NIFAL where the doubling dot is. And so if you have a guttural there, it's going to reject it, and that's why there's a difference.
Right.
Okay?
Got it.
So do you remember with the PL week? You said, I think, Sharon, I think you said it already, but what were the types of changes that the second gutturals go through?
Oh, the virtual doubling and
Yep, the virtual doubling and compensatory lengthening.
compensatory.
So the PL and the PUAL experience the same kinds of differences because remember I was telling you the CAL and the NIFAL go together, and in the same the PL and the PUAL go together.
Right.
And keeping them grouped like that is an easy way to remember the translation values for them, and just the main difference being one is active and one is passive for both of those.
Right.
So a lot, since they're so similar and since they go together, a lot of the variations in the gutturals and in the weak verbs, they're going to mirror each other. The CAL, the NIFAL go together, and the PL and the PUAL will go together.
Right.
It's just, if that helps you keep it straighter, then that's a way to kind of group things, because otherwise everything just kind of seems really linear and you can't really tell how it goes together, but that's how they're combined. So keep that in mind. And then let's see. So then if you remember the compensatory lengthening and the virtual double on the PL, weak verbs, then you know it basically for the PUAL. So with virtual doubling, what happens?
There's no doubling dot.
Right. But the rest of the diagnostics stay the same.
Right.
So you still have the kibbutz. And if it's the imperfect, you still have the prefix and the shwa, and then the kibbutz. There's just no doubling dot. So the one that changes is the compensatory lengthening. So how do the vowels change that way?
Well, the kibbutz changes to the holum, lengthens to the holum.
Right, it does. And Is there anything else that changes?
There's also no doubling dot. There's no
No
kibbutz.
doubling dot.
Mhm.
Right. So those are the things, I mean, it's really the holum that you have to look for, and you have to be able to recognize when you're looking at the Pual weak verbs. That's really the big one that's going to jump out at you, and you're going to know and be able to parse and that sort of thing. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Then that's 6 for that chapter. But before we go any further, how do you guys feel about your diagnostics in general for Cal, Nal, PL, Pual, both the strong and the weak?
I feel pretty good about it. I've been practicing them.
Good.
I'm okay. Weak gets me, but I'm okay.
Okay. I would recommend just as much as you can keeping up with them. You may not necessarily always see the weak diagnostics as a requirement to be reproduced on quizzes, but if you're not going to have to reproduce them in like those little diagnostic circles that she has in the diagnostic section of quizzes, chances are they're going to show up in your parsing. It's going to show up in your parsing, and so just knowing the diagnostics is going to make the parsing a lot easier than looking at it and trying to figure it out just off the top of your head. Because again, you're getting a lot of information all at once, and at this point, the easiest thing is to just memorize the dots and memorize the diagnostics, and then even if you have to write them down before the quiz so that you can do the parsing and do the translating, just do it that way. Don't feel like you're this far in and you should be able to pull it from your head, because it's just not realistic.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I created, that worksheet that I sent you.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to bring that into the quiz blank?
Yeah. Yeah, you can bring it in blank. Just let
You know what
whoever
I mean?
know. Yeah, I know what you mean. You can bring it in blank.
As long
Just
as I
let
show somebody.
Yeah, just let them know that it's blank and you're just going to use it to fill it in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Because then I'm going to say you said it was okay.
Yeah. As long as it's all blank.
Okay.
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 All right. And let's see.
And Sharon, I'll get you a copy of this. It's what I've been working on. It's a master diagnostics that I've been practicing on. It's really helpful. It's helped me a lot.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You're the woman.
Well, I'm just trying to I have all of them. I actually have to add the Pual virtual doubling and compensatory lengthening to it, but just as a practice sheet, because it's a good way to organize your thoughts. So I'll get it to you.
I would just always keep up with those. Just primarily for parsing and translation, because all of that's always going to keep coming back up. And the more you start learning, I mean, you're still learning, but the more you keep going, it's a lot easier to forget some of the things that you learned earlier on because you're not focusing on them week by week. And so if you can find a way to keep those things fresh, then especially by using the worksheets and just adding to them with each chapter, but still going back to what you've already done, that's going to help you out the most.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Then, let's see. Let me just pull this up real quick. All right. Let's go through the workbook parsing, kind of similarly to the way that we did it last week. Okay. So that just you get used to parsing weak verbs. We won't go through all of them, I don't think. Just go through at least the first 10 of them on 29A, and then how many did you have to do for 29B? I have it right here.
1 through 20.
Okay, so we'll just do let's just do like the first 5 for 29A because the first 5 and 20, I mean, this 29A is just the third aleph and the third hey ones, you know?
Uh-huh.
Okay, which ones you want to do? The what?
In 29A on page 231, we're just going to do the first 5 or so together because those are just the third aleph and the third hey one. And so you guys are pretty good with those, right? Because those don't change all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll do more of the 29B parsing because those are the second gutturals and the ones that change and the ones that look like compensatory lengthening and or virtual doubling. Okay? All right. So then I want, you guys, do you both have your workbooks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then the ones on page 231, how about Sharon, you go first and tell me, just parse that whole thing for me. Give me the stem, the conjugation, the PGN, and the lexical form.
Pual, perfect, 1 CS.
Mm-hmm.
And the lexical form is Malay, Mem Kamats, um,
Lamed.
thank you, Lamed,
Mm-hmm.
Sire, Aleph.
Right.
And
And
there's a suffix on it, which is the tau and the herek with the yod.
uh-huh.
And I was full.
Oh, as your translation?
Yes.
Okay. Um, yeah, I
What's the
think,
intention for that? Bloated?
You know what? I was struggling trying to find another word. I was like, what is another word for full? I have no clue.
No.
you do,
I was
like,
stuffed.
I was filled.
Oh, past tense.
Yeah.
Past tense. Duh.
Does that help? Okay. Then, good. All right, then, Kate, what is the next one?
All right, the next one is the Pual Perfect 2 2MP,
Mm-hmm.
and it's you were filled.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Then, Sharon, what's number 3?
Number 3 is PL perfect, 1 CS. And I have the suffix is T heroic yod. And I
Mm-hmm.
have what did I put? Can't read my writing. I will be filled.
If it's PL, does it
PL,
need to be
PL.
passive?
No. I became full. I don't.
Um, let's see.
I failed, I guess.
Yeah, you do. I filled.
Okay. Yeah.
Then number 4 is Kate.
All right, it's a PL Perfect 2MP,
Mm-hmm.
and it is you filled.
Right. Then
I don't know
let's.
what the next word means. I didn't look up any of these definitions, so I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
And I don't
Let's just do number 5 and then number 7.
5 is Pual
Oh,
imperfect, 1
Uh-huh.
CS, and it is I will be filled.
mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so then Kate, what's number 7?
It's a Pual participle masculine plural,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess that would be um, was filling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then before we go to the translations, let's just go to page 235, which is more parsing. and we can just do like 1 through 7 of them. Okay. How did you feel about that parsing that we just did?
I feel good about it.
Man,
I got
the
it.
diagnostics are pretty visual there, even with those weak verbs.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to do this parsing for 29B. Oh, I have to do this.
Mm-hmm. Sharon, how did you feel about that parsing?
I thought okay. Mine is a translation. That is, as you can tell. So
Yeah,
me and my words, I'll get it together.
I think one of the things that you can do, because you know the answers when I ask what the voice is and the action is for Cal, Nifal, PL, and Pual, and since you know those answers, write that somewhere on your quiz, like on the back page or something, and then remind yourself that in order for something to be active, the subject is doing the action. So it's he, she, it, you, I did something,
Right.
And then if it's passive, you're adding the to be verb and you're putting the ed at the end of it, no matter what it is.
Okay.
Okay? And so if you put that down on your quiz somewhere, then you don't have to try and pull these how to translate it correctly out of your head. You know the answer, just kind of eliminate the guesswork and just look at what you wrote down and then apply it to whatever you're trying to translate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay? Because I ask every week, and Sharon, you always know the answer to whether, like, what the voice is and what the action is, and you know how to translate the passive and the active because every week you answer that.
Thank you.
So if you just have to write it that way so that it doesn't get tripped up in your head, because part of it is just being on the quiz and just thinking that you don't know as much as you do, but you know it. You just have to put it in a way where you can realize that you know it.
Right.
Okay? All right. Then I think, Sharon, it's your turn, right?
We're on the 29B part now.
Yeah, on 29B, page 235, number 1. Parse that for me.
Okay. All right, here. Let's see what's going on. So, okay, we got a. So, yeah, we jump back to Cal, and conjugation would be the IU is uh-oh. Not uh-oh, but IU.
Mm-hmm.
Participle. Participle.
Mm-hmm.
And it is sorry, MS. I did that last week.
Right,
And the lexical form is Barack.
right.
Bait.
Is that, since it's Cal, is it an active participle or a passive
It's
participle?
passive participle.
Good, good. And how would you translate it?
Um, Blessing.
Yeah, it would be blessing, but since it's passive,
Blessed.
it could be. I mean,
Being blessed.
yeah, you need more context, so it could be he was a blessing, be blessed, something like that.
Be blessed.
Okay. Then what's number 2, Kate?
All right, that is a Cal passive participle masculine plural.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. And I put down were blessing because it's plural. Kind
Yeah.
of. Would you
Mm-hmm.
say? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. All right.
Okay. Um, so this one it has that vocal schwa, so it is a PL. PL, hmm,
Is it a PL?
hold on, let me verify that. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, PL.
Yeah.
Good.
That's Elizabeth being her trick questions.
Well,
Right.
you were asking a question, so I was asking it back.
Yeah. So it's the PL. Well, thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
And it is it could be, um, it's imperfect. I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It is imperfect. It could be either out of 3FS or 2MS.
Good.
And again, Barack. And it would be PL. PL is intensive action of active voice.
Yeah.
So, blessing. What was it? What's the other word for blessing?
Yeah.
This is my issue, trying to think of another word for the word.
Trying to look for an intensifier. I would check to see what the lexicon says, what the intensifier is.
Well, let me see.
And
Barack Obama. Huh?
yeah, just put the intensifier as the president.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Won't forget that one.
Actually, PL, the Barack only happens in the PL. And so blessing
Okay.
to bless is what you know, and it's what it is.
Wow.
Oh, wowzers.
Okay.
So in the imperfect, it would be imperfect. Um, you will bless. You will bless. You will bless.
Yep. How about what are we on, 4?
Mm-hmm.
What's number 4?
That's a PL imperfect 2MP, and so it's the same. You, plural, will bless.
Right.
Go, Kate, go.
All right. This is a fun one. What's this one?
Wow.
Oh,
Participle.
participle. I know that part.
What kind of participle?
It is a PL participle.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's a PL participle, and it is MS
Yeah.
and PL participle. That's the ing. That is the PL participle. Blessing. Blessing.
Yeah. Good job.
I got a
Okay, you did. And Kate, what's number 6?
All right, number 6 is a Cal imperfect 3MS.
Uh-huh.
And that's he blessed. Oh, excuse me, he will bless.
Mm-hmm. You will. So
Number
then,
7. Oh,
what's number 7?
Nifal.
Mm-hmm.
And oh Lord Jesus, it is a what? It is Nifal perfect,
Yeah.
and it is 2MS.
Good.
Let's see. Nifal intensive. You will be blessed.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's perfect.
Did I say Oh, I'm sorry.
So you put
I
in
did
will.
write. I'm thinking imperfect. I wrote perfect.
Yeah.
You you were blessed.
There you go. Mm-hmm. All right. Would you like to finish these parsings? You only have 5 more that you're assigned for this section.
Can you go to number 9 for me? The column above the baked confused me
Okay.
because it looks like it's just a Cal Perfect 2FP.
Uh-huh.
But I forget the deal with that column up there.
Okay. Well, it is actually because it's brand new. The holum is the compensatory lengthening of the kibbuth
Oh,
of Pual.
Wow,
ah,
that the say that
oh,
word.
You got it,
Yeah.
compensatory lengthening.
so it's a Pual Perfect
It
2FP.
is. So everything looks like the perfect. And so you do all of that the same way. You just got to look at that vowel diagnostic.
Wow. Okay.
Because if it was Cal, there would be a commas there. There was Nifal perfect, there would be a noon in the front.
Hmm.
There was PL perfect, it would have the Hurek underneath it and not a Hurek because of compensatory lengthening, it would have the Sarai.
Right.
And since it's the Pual, compensatory lengthening, the kibbutz changes to a holum because the resh rejects the dagesh.
It's one thing to know it on a diagnostic, and it's another when it's actually
Yeah.
in a word.
Yeah, and that's why I always say, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with relying on your diagnostics on a quiz
Hmm.
because you're trying to get all of the basics of Hebrew all at one time so that you can go ahead and translate. But your brain does not synthesize information that quickly. It can put it all in there, but it takes longer than that to synthesize it and contextualize it.
Hmm.
So just take it the way that it's coming, reproduce it the way that you need to, and just keep doing it that way. And the more you do that, the more your brain is going to make those connections, and eventually you won't have to. But don't rush that process.
Right.
You're learning the diagnostics, you're learning your vocab, and you're learning the paradigms. Just reproduce those and then apply it in your translation and your parsing. Don't feel like you've got to be able to sit there and say, oh, yeah, that's Pual.
Hmm.
Because it's very rare that people can do that.
Okay.
Not this quickly. This by the time you're in your exegesis class, you'll be able to translate things a lot easier and not have to have all of your diagrams in front of you, especially if you want to put the time in to translate the long way. Obviously, it's not 100% necessary because there are softwares to use if you want to. But
Right.
if you wanted to practice getting used to everything, you just keep using your diagnostics and you keep using your paradigms that you're reproducing, not just copying from something. And
Right.
then eventually you're going to realize you're having to refer to like less and less and less, and it's just becoming familiar to you. But the
Right.
only way that that's going to happen is by getting into the exegesis classes. In this format, you're just getting the pieces, and there's no way you could possibly contextualize it all just doing grammar classes.
Hmm.
So treat the grammar classes for what it is. You know all of your grammar, put it together in pieces, and then spit it back out on your test.
Okay.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Let's do let's just finish this. It's not that much. We'll do 8 and then 10, 11, and 12. Okay? So Sharon, can you do number 8 on
Uh,
page 236?
Pual, imperfect, 3 MS,
Mm-hmm.
and he was blessed, or it was blessed.
How do you make that imperfect though?
I keep doing that. He will be blessed.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Okay, then Kate, can you do number 10?
Okay. That is, I think, that is a Pual participle, masculine singular.
I think you're right.
And was blessed.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What was
Okay.
that, 10? Okay, so
Or
number
was
11.
blessing? Is it was blessing, I guess, or something like that?
You need more context, but it can be translated as either was a blessing or was blessed, depending on what's going on.
Okay.
Number 11.
Okay. I know it's a participle.
Yeah, there's a weird ending on it, so just
Yeah.
go with what you know first, and then we'll get to that.
Um, Again, participle, but yeah.
Okay, so you know
It's
it's a
got to be a
participle.
new. It's got to be a. Yeah, I'm lost for real.
Okay,
Well, that just a suffix added to it.
yeah, it's got a
Does it
suffix
have?
added to it, but look for just drop off the part that's confusing you, which at this point is just the end of it.
It's gonna be the pual with that hole up at the top. So
Right, you're right.
yeah,
So it's a Pual participle, right?
right.
Okay. Then let me okay, so it's a Pual participle, and if there was no ending on that, what would you say? What would you say the gender and number is?
3 ms.
Right, but without the person, because you don't need it for a
I
participle.
mean, I keep doing it. Ms.
MS, you got it. Okay. So then that's just take that section, and now you have this ending on it that doesn't look like it belongs there. So what do you think it could be?
Either his or its or something like that.
Right, a pronominal suffix, right?
Right.
Good. So, and that's just another thing.
His blessing.
There you go. Don't forget that you can have pronominal suffixes on verbs.
Roger.
But since it's pual, how could that be passive?
Uh,
That's um, his blessing versus he was blessed, I think would probably, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Part of what's honestly difficult with the participles in general is translating them correctly when all you have is the participle is very difficult
Okay.
because it would be because you can also have when it's added to a when it's added to a verb, those pronominal suffixes typically show you the object of the verb.
Right.
So it would be it could be something like it was blessing him or he was blessing him. So the was blessing is what makes it passive, and then the him is just the object of it.
Okay.
But again, participles are just awkward to try to translate when you don't have context.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Then what's number 12?
That's a pual participle feminine singular.
12 participle feminine singular. You got it.
And I get was blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. How do you feel about the parsing?
Good.
Good. So this, while you may not have to reproduce your weak diagnostics in the immediate future, it is helpful to have them written down somewhere for quizzes because of the parsing. And just like when you were looking at number 9, the one that is the Pual perfect, it's very easy to revert to the one that's the most comfortable to you, which is the cow.
Yeah.
But if you have those weak diagnostics somewhere, then you won't have to scramble to try and remember everything for all of the weak verbs.
Right.
Okay? So keep doing your diagnostics forever and ever. Amen. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Then let me also, I just keep looking at this quiz to make sure that you guys are good. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Let's do. Oh, good. Let's do some translations and some more parsing. So let's do the translations that you were assigned for this week, which was just 1, 2, and 3, and then number 1. Okay. So number 1 on page 233
Mm-hmm.
would be a really good one to start with for a whole host of reasons.
Roger.
Okay.
Okay. So I want Kate to tell me first where's the verb and then parse it for me.
The verb is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And kala, I guess it is the uh, complete. To be complete, I guess is the meaning. But it's a pual. 3. What is it? It's a pual imperfect.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. It's imperfect. Is it 3CP? What is it? It's 3CP.
Yep.
3CP. And they were finished or completed, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I said C and I didn't mean it. I meant N.
Huh?
What?
3NP because it's imperfect.
It's imperfect and it's plural.
Right. And so remember, perfect
It's 3MP.
the CP, and then imperfect has MP and
Right.
F.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's 3MP.
They got backwards in my head. But yeah, so it's Pual imperfect 3MP, and what does it have in front of it?
It has a vav imperfect, the vav consecutive.
There you go. Good. And before you keep going, because you did tell me what it meant already, but if you're looking at that verb, and I'm going to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Done. I want to know what you guys are thinking with this. Okay, so if you're looking, can you see that?
Oh, Lord.
Not really.
Not really. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you can see through the other side. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But you can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're looking at that, you can tell that it's missing one of the consonants, right?
Yes, because of the plural ending.
Right. So how do you know what consonant is missing there? Because you know when you have a trilateral, all of the verbs are trilateral roots. And so if you're missing a consonant, you know that it's either a first yod, a
Right.
first noon, or a third hey.
Right.
So how do you know which one it is when you're looking at that?
I just go through my head and go through the process of deduction, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know,
Okay.
nikal or yekal, but kala or whatever. So that's what I do.
That's good.
Okay.
Now for this particular one, since it's in the Pual, one of the things that you can notice is you see you have where to go. There it is. You have the Pual diagnostic. But when you were learning your weak verbs, do you remember learning anything about first nun or first yod Pual verbs?
No.
Because there aren't any.
No.
Right. And so that is another thing that you can use.
Oh, what do you mean? So there aren't any?
Okay.
What do you mean there aren't any?
There no verb appears in the Pual that is first nun or first yod.
Oh, that's good to know.
Because if they did, you would have learned it.
Roger.
So that's not, I mean, it's good to, I mean, always go through the process of elimination, but if it's just stumping you, you know that it's Pual, and you just went through your weak verbs, you didn't learn anything about first nun or first yod Pual verbs. Right?
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to see
Thank
how
you for
you
that.
guys were thinking about that.
Very good.
All right. So you said, how did you translate that?
And they were finished.
Okay. Good. Then keep going.
The heavens and the earth and their host
Mm-hmm.
were finished.
Except don't forget all.
Oh, and all. Excuse me. Yeah, I have that written down. Sorry. And
Good.
all their host.
Mm-hmm.
So the heavens and the earth and all their host were finished.
Right. So here I have another question to see if you remember. So where is it? There it is. So do you see all their hosts right there?
Yeah.
How do you know what is it that's making that definite? Because there's not a definite article on there like there is with the heavens and the earth, but it agrees still. So what is it that's making it definite?
Because is host a
Refers to the heavens and the earth.
well, is that a, what do you call that? Proper noun?
It is not a proper noun.
No.
Then I don't know the answer.
The
It has
pronominal.
a pronominal suffix on the end.
Mhm. That's what's doing it.
Oh,
That's what's making them agree, and that's what's making all of that the subject.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. All right.
That's good to know then. I know that now.
Don't forget. I just keep throwing stuff out there because I know you don't
I
really
hate pronominal
think
suffix.
about this stuff or remember it when it doesn't come up regularly. And so then it comes up in a translation and it's something you learned a while ago. You just haven't had to keep it fresh in your head. And so I'm just asking random questions to try and help you remember what you already know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think I'll come to the rest of those. Then how about we do number 2?
Oh, Lord.
Did you just hear her?
I did. Sharon, I really think you can do it. And it's a little longer, but you're just going to break it down into small pieces.
Well, Sharon, you want to do number 3 instead?
Yeah, Sharon, we can do 3. Do you want to do that?
Lord Jesus be with me.
We'll start with 2. Maybe we'll get to 3.
Okay. Verbs. Verb. Govern. Okay, so apparently the second word is a verb,
Yeah.
and it is, I believe that is cow.
Mm-hmm.
Cow. Cow perfect 3CP.
Yeah.
Okay.
That,
What is the? Go ahead. What is it
I was
called?
just going to say that word is one of those really awesome words that you didn't actually technically learn.
Yeah.
You learned you learned noun forms of it, and this is just another gloss of the same word, but it's a verb that means to excel or to swell or to rise.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
And
I was like, what is this?
yeah,
Um.
you don't know it.
Okay. They excelled. Oh, my battery's about to die. Okay.
Parse
Um,
fast.
hold on, I gotta go plug in.
Okay.
Hold on. God dog it. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. So, where was I?
You were at the word that you don't really know, but I told you what it means because
They excelled.
they
Okay.
excelled or swelled or rose,
Well,
depending on what makes sense here. But those are your options.
okay. And then I forget. Oh, this is infinitive construct, but it's the dog it. The surely, indeed, or what is it called?
hmm Very exceedingly, and so it
I
looks like it looks like an infinitive construct, right?
No, it's an imperative. That's right. Sorry, but I'm trying to
But
find.
no, wait.
Wait, what's the word? Go ahead.
What I'm saying is it has the vowels for an imperative and or an infinitive construct, but you just told me what the definition was. You told me that it was very or exceedingly. You know this word. So it's not a verb.
Oh, what did I think it was? Oh, I know what I looked at it as. Never mind. I'm sorry.
So it's just very, very.
Very,
Very,
very.
very. Oh, I would have got stumped. Oh yeah.
Now you won't.
Let's see.
Because there are a lot of things,
Or
just so you know, in the Old
swelled.
Testament that are very or exceedingly, especially in Genesis.
Okay.
Ma'od,
The
ma'od.
the next verb is kasa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Parse
And
that one for me.
it is both consecutive. Pual,
Yeah.
imperfect
Uh-huh.
with the Vav consecutive,
Yeah.
and that is 3 CP. Yeah.
It is three and it is P, but remember, perfects have
Imperfect.
the common plural, and imperfect has masculine plural and feminine
Oh,
plural.
oh, 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 oh. Gotcha.
Okay,
It is 3 MP.
you're right.
Okay. Vav consecutive. And then call. Remake. So the Haga Boeing is also that's excelled again. No, no, it's not. Gavaim here under. Okay, is that it? I think that is a word.
Yeah, that's it. There's no more.
That's it.
I think you got them all.
Okay. So, in the waters swelled very, very on the earth, covered all the mountains, the Ga, Aga, Vohim, Aga, Ga, Gavo, Ga.
This is another word, just so you know. I mean, you're going to need to use your lexicon, but it's another word,
I.
yeah, that you don't technically know, but you sort of know now because you've looked it up. Okay?
Um, okay. Um,
So,
all the mountains high.
now, remember the rules for your adjectives? So if this
Oh,
word
oh,
begins
oh, oh,
high,
oh, oh. The mountains of the high mountains.
the
Okay.
high mountains, because what kind of adjective is that?
It comes after it's attributive.
Right.
Yeah, it's attributive and it agrees. Okay. In person and definiteness.
Yeah.
So
So the high mountains.
covered all the high mountains
There you go.
that or which under all the waters.
Uh-huh.
All right. Then the waters swelled very, very. Uh-oh, I just said that word. I just lost it.
Yeah,
The waters
exceedingly, I guess.
ex exceed. Okay, can you say very exceedingly?
You could say it's kind of I can't think of what this is called. It's a Hebrew idiom when you have ma'od right next to each other.
Yeah.
And so I mean, what it basically is like exceedingly much or a whole lot or something like that. So you can pick how you want to do it. You could do very much, you could do exceedingly much, you could do very, very. It just has to express a lot of something.
Okay, and the waters swelled a lot of something. No, I was playing. The waters swelled uh, very exceedingly on the earth and covered all the high mountains
Hmm.
that which this makes no sense. Which under all the water. That
Right.
which
It doesn't make sense exactly translated like that. You just need to supply a to be
the
verb
to be
somewhere.
verb that were under all the water.
There you go. Hmm. Good job. See, that wasn't that much Hebrew.
I thought it was heavens. Isn't that Shamayim, heaven?
Oh,
Oh yeah, Shamayim.
the Shamayim. I'm sorry. Yes,
Hmm.
I do that every time too.
We just like to make them up.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
Moving too fast. I do the same thing on the test.
Yeah, just make up whatever you want to for the
Okay.
answers for the
And
test.
then just get the -1 and go with it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry.
Thanks, Kate.
You got it, baby.
All right. Let's see. Trying to think. It's 5:30.
I'm gonna have to leave soon.
We'll miss you.
Miss you too.
Hmm.
Just pray for me. Trying to get a job.
Really?
You're trying to get a job.
Yeah.
Any kind of job?
Probably construction. I hate construction, but I need a job.
Would you be outside doing construction?
That's why I hate it.
Oh, see, that would be why I would love it.
Well,
It's too hot. Then you gotta fight with contractors, and then they be
Mm.
lying. But it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna complain. I need a job.
Maybe that. Just find a place where you can get paid by the hour for construction.
Yeah. I don't think is that possible?
And We should all chip in and get you one of those little personalized spray fan things. So
Yeah.
you're cool.
And a lunch bucket. with some
Oh
cute-
yeah, with
Oh
a
my gosh,
thermos.
let us know when you get the job and we'll make you an outside care package.
Yeah. Really cute and girly.
Nice and pink.
Yes.
Purple.
With a little bit
Purple.
of leopard print, maybe?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. How about the pink with the black and white tiger stripes? Yeah.
Perfect. That
Yeah.
is very you. We'll
Yeah.
have
I hope Jake is
a
watching
lunch
it.
pail and it'll have a thermos and then you'll have one of those spray fans like you get at Disney and it'll have a fan and then spray water on you and you'll be the coolest chick on the construction site.
I sure will. Everybody's gonna want some of my water.
Everyone's going to want to
Spray
be
'em. Yeah. Oh
I didn't
yeah.
want to be you, Sharon.
With my
But you-
steel-toe boots on. Hey, Jay.
have to leave now, honey. When do you have to leave by? Our call here.
Probably 5:45.
5:45? That's perfect. Just enough time to do this really long translation.
All right, let's roll.
All right. Okay. It's really long, so I'm trying to see if I want to break it up.
I translated it already. I don't know if but I didn't have the parsing. I didn't write down the parsing.
Okay. Well, then that's perfect. You can give me the parsing first.
Okay.
Or at least first start off with tell me how many verbs there are and where they are.
Hold on.
And then we'll break up the parsing.
All right. The first one is the very first word. Then there's another one. 1, 2. There's only 2 on the first line. And on the second line is 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you told me where the first one was. Tell me where the second one is.
It's the third word in on the second, next to David. The word David, it's the third word in. Oh, excuse me. No, it's the fourth word.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And where's the third one?
Let me see. The third one, is there one on the, down after the word Yahweh, Omid.
Okay.
So that's that on that line.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What about the next line?
The very first word, the second word, and then 2 words after David. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 7 words in. Or that one is like the third word in from the end.
Okay. Did you say that the very first word on the second line is a verb?
No, that is not a verb. My
Okay,
apologies.
good. That's fine. I didn't know if that's what you said or if you said the second one. I think.
It is the second one, not the first one.
Okay, not the first one. First one's not a verb. Okay.
Correct.
And so that is a total of
1, 2,
6.
3, 4, 5.
6.
I think there is another verb you said.
Oh,
right
at the very
before
end.
David.
Well, hold on. Oh, let's see. Hold on.
I will.
Bash.
The very final word on the first line. Drew, his sword.
That one,
I don't know if that's
no, not that. Well,
1, 2, 3 on the first line.
yeah.
1, 2 on 2 on the second.
I see another one. You look at where David is.
David, and then
Look
David
at the one right before it.
and then
And beautiful.
oh, I don't know that word. Okay,
That's all right.
so I just dismissed it altogether. My translation.
I'm missing a word.
It's probably superfluous.
I think it is. It now is.
So don't worry
A
about it.
version of the scriptures that is no longer necessary.
Exactly.
I don't know what that word is.
That's all right. We'll get to it.
And I think I tried looking, I don't know. It's missing a lot. I don't know. It's strange.
All right. That's fine. It can be strange.
Okay, so you'll help me figure out that word.
I will.
Okay, so we'll start at the beginning.
So this is what I think, because this is really long.
Okay.
So I want uh, Kate to parse the odd verbs. So the first one, the third one, and the fifth one. And Sharon, you're going to parse the second, the fourth, and the sixth one. And don't worry about the rest of it for right now. Just do those. And I'm going to give you a second to work on them.
All right, so which one am I doing? Even or odd?
You're doing odd. This is not good coffee. Just
Well,
Dunkin' Donuts up there.
You're doing odd ones.
All right, then I'm going to start off now. Okay.
You can absolutely do that.
All right, the word is the lexical form is nasa, and this is a cal imperfect, 3ms vav consecutive, and he lifted.
Okay.
So that is that one, and the he is David, which is the next word, and his eyes are the next word after that. So David, and David lifted his eyes.
Okay. I have
what?
a question for you.
Okay.
Will you look at that one more time and tell me if you think it is a cal or if it's a nifal?
Ah.
I'm not,
Oh, because of the
Doubling dot.
in the shin makes it a nifal.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that would be a passive.
Right.
So were or was lifted.
Yeah. Hold on one.
Hmm.
Which is, by the way, a weird translation.
It is.
And his eyes were lifted, David. I don't know. But you're right, that's a nifal. I missed the doubling dot. I thought of the doubling dot as filling in for the missing nun,
Mm-hmm.
that it was not a nifal but a cow with that was the nun of the missing nun. But I guess it's not.
And I think that I tricked you a little bit.
So I was right?
Why would you
You're
do
right.
that?
It's a cow, and that is a missing nun. Okay.
Well, what about the doubling dot?
The doubling dot
It's the nun.
is the noon that drops out. So those,
So it's cow?
If it was a nifal,
It's nif.
it would have a kamatz, and if so I'm looking on my STEM diagnostics, if an imperfect nifal would have a kamatz under the what it? Hold on a second. No,
But if you take off the vav, it does have a kamas.
right.
If you're not looking at the vav and looking at the yod, and then the second consonant has that kamas.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one second.
But the yod has the dot. Oh, that's for the vav consecutive.
So this is how you can tell the difference. It looks very similar, but the first noon in the nifal
mm-hmm.
it keeps the noon.
Right.
The noon doesn't drop out.
And the other nun of the word gets absorbed, assimilated.
Assimilated.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you need the noon in the nifal because
Right.
the noon that you see in the nifal is part of the nifal diagnostic.
But hold on, in the imperfect,
Right.
it would, but an imperfect wouldn't have a nun, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is that the noon remains because it's part of the diagnostic. I'm saying that the noon is there in the first noon nifal imperfect verbs
Okay.
because the reason that it's there is because it would be too difficult to differentiate between the cal and the nifal imperfect.
Okay.
Okay, so this one doesn't have the noon in the imperfect, so it's cal.
Okay. None of the imperfect first nun on page 303. Oh, they do have a nun in the.
Yeah.
They do have a nun. Okay. Okay. All right. So they all have a nun, and so this is a cow. Got it. So I was right the first time, but accidentally.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good difference to recognize, that doubling dot, and fool people.
I just wanted to throw that out there because it looks like because the diagnostic looks the same. It has the comments and it has the doubling dot and it has the hierarch. So it would be just the noon that's going to tell you the difference between the cal and the nifal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yay. So good job.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. So then what you put that little section together.
Okay. And David lifted his eyes.
You're right.
Sharon's got to leave in like 3 minutes.
So Sharon had just better parse this next verb so she gets some parsing in.
Okay, hold on.
I will.
Okay, to see. What is this? What is this? Third, hey. Yeah. So I want to say it's I really don't know.
Okay.
Hell, no. Oh, what is this?
You're right. It is a third hey.
I know. I'm got that part. Yikes.
Ra'ah.
I know it's ra'ah.
Okay. So work from there. If you know it's ra'ah, then you saw that the hey has to have been dropped off and there's no other ending. And you can tell that it's imperfect, right?
Yeah, I know it's imperfect. Because
Okay, so
of the
you've
yod.
got the lexical, which is ra'ah, and you've got that it's imperfect. And you also know, since you're dealing with imperfect, if there's no ending, then you can tell me what the person gender number is, right?
3ms.
Right. So you've got that. You've got ra'ah, you've got imperfect, and you've got 3ms. And what's in front of it?
Yod and vav consecutive, so imperfect.
So you've got the imperfect and you've got the vav consecutive. So all that you need to figure out now is if it's cal, nifal, pual, or pl. So start with eliminating the easiest ones.
It's not pual.
Not pual.
It's not pl.
Right.
And it has that doubling dot.
It does have the doubling dot. So what you're looking at now is you need to tell me if it's a cal or if it's a nifal. So what are the diagnostics for NIFL that you're used to?
The Hurek and the Siri, but it has in the perfect it has the Shoah. Boom, boom, boom.
In the imperfect?
In the imperfect, it does not. So it's Cal.
There you go. And so you worked in a different direction, but you just gave me all the right information.
Wow. It's just that I think with Bob consecutive, that's what it is. That was yeah, that double and dot was
Yeah,
throwing me off.
that makes sense. So whenever you've got something extra, even if it's a verb consecutive, just pull it out of your way for a second and just deal with the verb. And know that once you figure that out, all you just have to put down is verb consecutive, and you've got it again.
Okay.
Okay? So you just told me it was Cal imperfect, verb consecutive, 3ms of Ra'ah. So how would you translate that?
Cal perfect will be seen. He will be seen.
But how does the verb consecutive change that?
And Bob consecutive change it to be to become perfect. So, and he saw.
There you go. Can you tell me real quick what he saw?
And David saw, he saw the king. He saw, yeah, the king.
Close.
The Lord.
There is the Lord there.
The Lord.
But Malak, even though it looks like Melech, is not it's messenger or angel.
I was just about to say angel. Mm-hmm. Angel of the Lord.
There you go, because it's a construct chain, right?
Stood between the earth. Stood between the earth and between the heavens. And
so wait a second. You're doing very well, but you need to tell me what tell me how to parse that.
Omed is Cal. Perfect. Participle, active participle.
There you go. Cal active participle. Give me the gender and number.
MS.
There you go.
Very good.
Between the heavens and between the earth. And this is a word we just learned. No, wait. Hareb is sword. Yeah. And no. Yeah.
There's sword there. So what's on the end of sword?
His sword. Okay.
There you go.
Pronominal suffix, and then Shalupa. What is that? I have to look that up. I don't know what that is. Okay, you want to help me out?
Which word are we looking at?
The last one on the first line.
Oh, I think that's drew. I had to look that up, but it was still hard. Drew his sword. Or something. Like something along those lines. It was hard for me to find.
Okay.
Shalupa. That wasn't an easy word. I had a...
Shalupa.
I think it was something like drew his sword in his hand.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. I can't even find it.
Hey, you guys, I got to get off of here. I'll check the rest of it out after you post the recording. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye, Kate.
Bye, honey.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that is, you're right. It's drew his sword. I don't even think it's in this lexicon. I think you'd have to find it in the holiday lexicon.
And I think I even tried looking in there, and I still had a hard time.
Really?
Yes.
I don't have mine with me. That's silly, but I don't.
Okay. So it's saying that, and David lifted his eyes and he saw the angel of the Lord standing between, um, the earth and the heavens, and uh, his sword like drawn then in his hand, something along that, like that.
Yeah.
Um, the next verb is netu ya, and that is it's spread out, and it looks like it's a PL, but I'm confused by the ending of that.
Okay. Hold on.
Like neta or something is the verb, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's in like a 3FS, but I'm just kind of confused by the uh, Vav Shirek. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Let
Netu,
me look at this for a sec. How did you parse it?
PL, 3FS. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a participle.
Okay.
I don't think,
I'm thinking.
but see, if it was a participle, it would have a nim. So I'm going with a PL. The nun is the first word of the verb for spread out anyway, so there's no prefix. So I'm just thinking I'm going to go with, it's a, I think it's a third hey, possibly, and I'm going to go with a PL perfect 3FS.
Okay. Now, the thing about that is if it's a PL and it's a perfect, what's the diagnostic that you should see for a PL perfect?
I should see a Hirek and a doubling dot.
Right.
So could this be a Pual? Because
if it were a Pual, what would you need?
well, I would need the kibbutz thing.
Mm-hmm. And the kibbutz goes under the first
Right.
consonant, not the second. So I'm wondering if it is a, hold on, where is it? Why is this? How come I can't just turn to the chapter I want to turn to? Because the beginning of it is making me wonder if it's an imperative, a cal imperative, or a cal infinitive construct.
Oh.
But it still looks weird.
It does. Well, is that a pronominal suffix on the end?
If it is, then it would have to be a cal imperative.
But it could be an imperative. I don't think it's not an imperative because it's not a to. It's not. This is in reference to a third person, and he spread out his hand over Jerusalem. That's not an imperative.
Right. So let me hold on again. Okay, well, it can't be an infinitive construct. Then, hold on one second. I'm going to cheat a little bit.
All right, we know it's a third hey for nata.
Mm-hmm.
It could be it could be a participle, a cow feminine participle. Then the schwa would make sense, right? And because it's a third hey,
Yeah. Where is my part?
the hey is changed to a yod.
Mm-hmm.
And it's spreading out. Spreading out.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's what I'm going to go with. Feminine, singular, cow participle. The oo is there. Well, that would be a passive. I don't know why the hierarch yod is there, but everything else lines up for it to be a feminine singular participle, I think.
Okay. For
The verb nata.
right. But if it were a cow, then that would have to make, wouldn't that have to be a passive participle?
Right.
Okay.
A passive feminine singular cow participle.
That
Third
makes
hey.
sense. That was fun.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to do any more of those. And if that's not it, that's what it is now.
It is that now. Hold on one second.
Hopefully nothing from this translation is going to be on the quiz. Okay. You want me to keep going?
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on.
All right, over Jerusalem.
I think that is.
Oh, the next verb is what I need help with. I have no idea what that word is. And it could be, well, it's a, I don't know.
So you have, sorry. So you have stretched out over Israel, right?
Over Jerusalem.
That's what I mean by Israel.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to be more geographically specific. I don't know.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then,
Yay pal, yay pole. I have no idea what that is.
okay. So just look at the diagnostics.
Well, I'm wondering, I think a nun is possibly missing.
Uh-huh.
And I still don't know if that's true.
Okay. If a noon is missing, what would the
Nepal,
nafal? Yeah.
which would be fall.
Right.
Okay. This would be a PL, perfect, a PL imperfect, 3CP, 3MS.
Okay. Now before you keep going though,
Yeah.
if that's a first noon, would it be PL, or would it just be a cow?
I don't know because you know what that Hirak and the doubling dot, even though it's an assimilated noon, is still throwing me off.
Okay, then look at the holum.
Right.
That holum is diagnostic for cal imperfect.
It is. So I'm going to go with Cal Imperfect. 3MS for
Yeah,
Nafal.
there you go.
Okay. And David, oh, and he fell, referring to David,
Uh-huh.
and the elders, the next word, that verb is were covered, that is the Pual um, uh, participle masculine plural,
Hmm.
or kala, in sackcloth on their faces.
Yep,
Okay.
that was a fun one.
It's awful. Hopefully, more like the number one will be reflective of what might be on our quizzes.
Well, tell me how you feel about this. Part of the translations that we just did, part of why they're helpful is because there's parsing from all of the different stems that you know,
Mhm.
more so than the fact that, there's really nothing identical to them that you would ever have to do again aside from what you just did.
Right.
But there's parse. It's just remembering that you have all different options for parsing. It's not all going to be Pual. It's not all going to be PL or Cal or Nefal. It's all of them.
Right.
So if you saw something like this, fun. I think this might be a little bit more familiar and would be a good indication of whether you know how to parse things and translate them, assuming you can read my handwriting.
Why don't you give me the letters? I'll write it out.
Here, I'm almost done. And I tried really hard to make it something you could see.
All right. Um,
So
all
where's the verb on that one?
right, move it over to the right a little bit because you're covering the first. Okay.
Oh, the very
Uh,
beginning.
uh,
Hold on, you can't see something. I didn't make it dark enough. There.
okay. Um, Helom. Sephar. And then I can't see the L2. Still can't see um, something to his father or something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So to his father is back there. Where's your verb?
The Sefer.
Yeah.
Sefer.
How would you parse that?
That looks like it is PL perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, 3MS.
Uh-huh.
And Sefer, what is that? He wrote? Is that what Sefer means? I forget what Sefer means.
Yeah, it is, but in the PL, it means he recounted or remembered or recalled.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to write this out here. All right, he recounted, then it's the um, ha, halom,
Ha-halom, yeah.
the halom. What's the halom? I don't know what halom is.
Halom is one of those nouns that I don't think that you've had as vocab, but it tends to come up in translations. Means
Okay.
dream.
Oh, dream. Oh, so he recounted the dream to his father.
Right. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. So then tell me if you can parse this then and translate it. Let's see, where is it?
Okay, so is it just those two words?
Yeah, and they kind of got squashed together, but that's supposed to be ale and then makef and then ha avadim.
Ha-avadim. Oh God. To the slaves. Okay. Dabaru um, is that a two? Is that an imperative? 3 MP. You speak to the servants.
It is an imperative, but an imperative of what?
Dabar.
Yeah, I mean, is it a cal or a pl or a
Oh,
nifal?
oh. I think it is a cow. Well, or is it cow or PL? I don't know.
It is a pl.
Okay, and it's a PL because
The pathak.
all right, move it back over a little bit to your right.
Oh,
Okay, there you go. Because of the patak.
mm-hmm.
Ah, right. I'm sorry, I was so busy. Right, you're right. You're right. You're right. The patak. I was so busy thinking of the perfect.
Yeah.
I forgot about the patak.
Mm-hmm. So
And the
pl imperative.
PL imperative, 2 MP,
Mm-hmm.
dabar.
Yeah.
You speak to the servants.
Yep.
Or you spoke. Well, you speak. It's an imperative, so it
It's
has to
imperative.
be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And then how about parsing? What about okay, what about parsing the top one?
The top one is a. Let me see. That's a um, nifal.
Mm-hmm.
Nifal imperfect 2 MS.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or I guess it could be 2 or 3, right? I mean,
Right.
2 MS or 3 FS.
Right. How do you know it's nifal?
Because of the sere under the prefix.
Right. And then what about this one?
That is a PL participle feminine singular.
Here's a question. Are you sure it's a participle?
Ooh. Za, Ms. Oh, I don't know that word. Oh, is that an L? I mean, a lamed?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Oh, no, that's not a participle. I'm glad you did that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a PL 3FS.
Perfect, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Good
Then,
call on that. Words that begin with men, I'm not
yeah,
usually that careful.
you've got to be careful with those. But the thing that's going to kind of differentiate is if it's a participle, then it'll have a schwa underneath the mem.
Right.
So
Keep an
the
eye on it.
only, yeah, so that'll be helpful the majority of the time. But you're also going to have to check with that schwa there if it starts with a mem and there's a schwa underneath it. That could
Right.
be a cal imperative.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
got it.
just keep it all in your brain. So then, what about this one? The third one. Can you see that?
Yes, that is a PL. Um, is that a PL? Yes, that's a PL imperfect 3MP.
Mm-hmm. Of what's the lexical?
Ba'ar.
Yep. So weird. Okay. Then this one. The bottom one.
Oh, that is a NIFAL 1CS, right? No. Bara
Um,
T. Um, wow, not having a prefix, that's throwing me off. Oh,
okay.
I'm thrown off by that. I see it's like it's a perfect 1CP, 1CS, but the Sere, oh, it's a PL compensatory length. Okay, so it's a PL.
Right.
It's a PL perfect 1CS
Right.
because there, okay, because there is no prefix. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the Sere is compensatory lengthening.
Right. Good job. So the fact that there's no prefix there, instead of it throwing you off, it can just be like a clear indicator that you're not looking at a nifal.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And how about this one? There it is.
Um,
That's my best handwriting yet.
it is. It's beautiful. Oh, let me see. That looks like a PL.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that is the week.
Right.
So it's a PL imperfect 3MS.
Yep.
Okay.
How do you feel about that parsing?
That was good.
Good.
Good stuff to learn.
So I would, for the quiz, keep going through diagnostics,
Mhm.
and I think it would be a good week if you have any extra time to just review what all of the different weak verbs look like in all of the stems.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to have to reproduce all of it or anything like that, but some of the cow weak verbs are coming back up in your translations
Mhm.
and in parsing, and they can be confusing when you haven't seen them for a while.
Right.
So just keep reviewing that sort of thing. Um, yeah, I think
Okay.
that should be good. And then you've got the diagnostics, and you've got the translations, and you've got the parsing, which at this point you should be pretty prepared for all of the
Yeah.
parsing and the translation and the diagnostics.
Yeah. Fun. Good times.
Okay?
Yes.
Are you worried about anything or have any questions?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I started on the other longer translations just to kind of get a jump on the Genesis 22 and type
Good.
of thing.
Yeah. Once you get through, honestly, once you get through the HIFL,
Mhm.
you're going to know the majority of the diagnostics that you're going to need
Mhm.
to be able to do particularly those translations. I know that there's probably HIFPIL somewhere in there, but when you get to HIFPIL, you'll see that it's actually super easy to diagnose because it's so weird.
Mhm.
So, but really after next week and the week after, your translations, the longer translations, should start to get a lot easier, and you know a surprising amount of Hebrew
Mhm.
at this point. Like there's
Mhm.
just a lot that you would be able to just open up and translate. It may not be the fastest thing in the world, but you know it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Will do. Are you
Yay.
off to class now?
Yeah, you don't want to.
I know. I know.
But yeah, I'm off to
Everybody.
class now. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Right. No.
I mean, I'll only be here for another 4.5 hours.
Oh no.
Yeah, but